Hey everyone, this is Doug with the Grizzled Geek, and today I'm coming to you with another Star Wars The Old Republic video. Uh, Initially, my intention had been to do levels 6 through 10 of the Eternal Championship, but I gotta be honest with you, I went through those with two different characters and ran into just so many troubles that I decided, one, it wasn't worth the amount of time it was going to take to do, and two, I just can't recommend doing that, taking the time to do the Eternal Championship. The changes they made to it made it almost unplayable. The first 5 levels are fine. They're a little challenging, but they're good. They've got some unique aspects to them. But literally, round 6 is almost unbeatable. I have a level 50 companion. I am well-geared character. You can go through here, see I'm 248, 248, 248, 248, 248, 244, 244 with a 246 barrel, 248, 240, 240, 248, 248, 248. So I'm well equipped. I've got, my gear is almost maxed out here. And that level 6 fight, or that round 6 fight, was almost unbeatable without having your heroic moment and your unity going, companion on heals. Even then, it proved just too cumbersome and that was just round 6. Round 7, also very challenging. Almost would need to have heroic moment again, so you'd have to wait the 5 minutes, or for me, 4 minutes 28 seconds to get unity back, 5 minutes to get heroic moment back. That makes it if you had to do that every round, that makes this thing take well over half an hour to finish the whole thing. So my recommendation, if you haven't done it, give it a try. But if you've done it before, it's not worth ever doing again. So just, pretend the Eternal Championship doesn't exist at this point until they fix some stuff. I believe what happened was when we moved from level 65 to level 70 and they recalibrated things, the recalibrations just didn't match up. It was always challenging before, but quite doable. Now it's, almost impossible to do. So that's my takeaway. Let me know down in the comments below if you've done it recently, since since the level cap went up, or any other recent changes have been made to character classes or anything like that. I'd be curious to know if anybody else is having luck with it. But anyway, so instead today I'm going to talk about crafting. Sam over on SWOTOR TV discussed in a video a couple weeks ago about some data mining some people had done that I believe on the public test server that had showed they're laying the groundworks for some changes to how crafting works. I made a video a while ago about my feelings on crafting, and unfortunately the audio wasn't the audio was ruined, so I wasn't able to post the video. So I'm going to discuss some of those points here. Crafting has largely become almost worthless in this game. If you go check your character, there's a couple of things that crafting is worthwhile for now. One of those is conquest and stronghold stuff. So if you're in a guild that likes to do conquest, a lot of times war supplies and invasion forces will be something you can get points for. Also, you can make prefabs that you can use through these droids here to then buy decorations, various decorations. So you can look, hey, this is, barracks bunk bed, or, whatever. So you can go through these droids and buy decorations with which to decorate your stronghold. So that's one area where it's good. A lot of the different crafting skills will allow you to make augments, and you need those for different character classes. So for example, or I should say different skills will give you different augments. So for example, here we go with arms tech, we can get accuracy, fortitude, overkill. So power, endurance and power, power primary, endurance secondary, endurance primary, power secondary, and then accuracy and endurance. And then the various other craftings will do other ones. One of the things they did last update they did to crafting was put these assembled components, which they're a horrible idea. They're really just dumb. They make crafting, which people are already demotivated to do because of all, you got all of this old junk that's just not. The only reason you would make any of this stuff is if you like how it looks. Otherwise, generally speaking, you level so fast that it's not worth crafting gear for lower level characters. So if you make a new character who is level 16, unless you want to plan out, hey, I've got I want to make another Jedi, so I'm going to go to my guys who have synth weaving, and I'm going to make something at level 15, at level 25, at level 35, and just have it waiting for them. There's really no reason to craft that stuff. You're gonna get gear drops that are sufficient to get you through how quickly you will level to level 70. At that point, end gear becomes based on drops from, and I don't think I have any in here right now, but drops from command crates, or using unassembled components, which I think I'm out of on this character, but now I got 200 of them. Not enough to buy what I need at this point, but yeah. So at that point, gearing becomes about those. So really, as far as gear type stuff goes, the only reason to get them is for cosmetic purposes, and that'll only be the orange stuff. So adding a layer of, first you got to gather the materials, and that you can do by running around or by sending guys on crew skill missions, or whatever, to get those components, buy them on the GTN. But then you got to take those, craft them into these components, and then use those components, often combined with something else, to make whatever it is you want to make. This 4-step process, depending on what you're working on, just makes crafting unwieldy, and I don't know a lot of people who do it. I don't. I've got the stuff where I can make these are pistols. So I can make some of the higher level barrels. 51 is 240 barrel or whatever. But it gets to the point where even that isn't worth it because of the various material components and having to worry about gathering all of these different things. Unless you're on the leading edge, it doesn't help you to get those things. Now, the guys who can do things like earpieces, augments, and implants, these become quite a bit more, getting the drops, the recipes from, operations, or from command crates, or even from crates from PvP, then those become more valuable because they can be shared across multiple characters, whereas my resistive barrel is only good for any tanks I have who happen to use guns. So that's one character, and I actually don't have any that do that. Versatile is a little more usable, but still. So at this point, in my opinion, crafting is in shambles. Crafting really needs a huge overhaul to make it worth doing more than the stronghold, conquest stuff, and augments. And even then, you're almost better off buying your augments than taking that. Yeah, it's expensive, but if you don't want to take the time to do all of the gathering, the crafting of the assembled components or whatever, it's for many people worth the time to just go buy the augment. Buy the augment slot, the augment kit, buy the augment, and just call it a day. So, what can they do to improve this? Now, the things, and I'll link to Sam's SWOTOR TV video below. A lot of the things he was discussing were things like missions would have, we're going to go back to, apparently, again, this is all rumors from data mining, but apparently we're going to go back to where various companions will be superior in certain things. Now, either that or you specifically might choose for you and your crew to be better at specific things. It was a little unclear based on the information he was throwing out as to whether or not it was going to be one or the other. Whether, for example, Koth would be great at arms tech, and maybe then Nico would be good at underworld trading or something like that. I don't know if that's the case. We're going backwards to what it used to be like, or if it's going to be something where you specifically say, I'm good at these things. Now, in Sam's video about these crafting changes, he brings up two screens, or two lists. I'm not sure if he made this or where he got this from. He doesn't really say in the video, but he references that companions can be like combat based, scavenging based, technician based, and I think the other one was underworld trading based. And then says that those then give you combatant, makes you more proficient on combat missions, which there currently aren't any combat missions. So that tends to suggest that there's going to be some sort of change in the type of missions you can send your companions on. Underworld trading there is, scavenging there is. Technician improves their proficiency with engineering missions, so that's a new category. But this is all that's listed for primary traits. So the question then becomes, are they reducing the number of missions? The scavenging, crew skill mission type things. Is all material going to be reduced down to it's either a technician thing, a scavenging thing, a underworld trading thing, or a combat thing? That's an interesting idea there, that go from different, I think it's like 8 different categories or 6 different categories of things you can get. Well, let's take a look here. You can get currently, you can go for scavenged items. You can go through, you would use archaeology. This one is from bioanalysis. This is from slicing. Then you've got the medical or diplomacy, underworld trading, and from treasure hunting. So now, whether or not, this is from investigation. This is from treasure hunting. So that's 8 different categories that you could have before. Now, are they going down to 4, or was that just a sample list? Hard to say. Sam doesn't go into exactly where the information's coming from or whether or not it's complete. He then goes on to discuss what are called secondary traits. These confuse things even more, because secondary traits are things like cold-blooded, and this sounds very much like it's an incomplete list. The first one's cold-blooded. Missions that are in a frozen atmosphere or a cold atmosphere, such as Hoth or Alderaan or Ilum, or I believe he also listed Ziost, some other places. Now, currently, if you go and you look at this and you click on a skill mission, very few of them actually state where you're going. So that would tend to suggest that, they're really, stuff like, this Duxun, is that a planet? Is it, what is this? Is that where you're actually going, or are you just looking for them? the where you're going is really not that significant to these. So that's an interesting detail to add. Then they've got a Jedi Hunter one. If the Jedi is the enemy, you get more CXP from completing the mission. So that's like, wait, you can send companions on a mission that results in CXP at the end. That's unusual. And why just Jedi? Why not Sith as well? Maybe there is one. We then go on to there's combatant, I believe. There's another combat version, or no, I think that's leadership. Increases how good your companions are on combat mission, and then it says increases the amount of influence gained, because now sending people out on missions gets them influence. It increases the influence, the influence gained by 100 for all companions on that mission, which tends to suggest you could take or send more companions on a mission. Then another secondary trait is Droid Buddy, which had to do with when you have a droid as an active companion, which then tends to suggest it has nothing to do with these missions here. So it's really odd combination of things that with little explanation, it's kind of hard to say what those are going to do. So realistically, we can't, it's some interesting, intriguing information, but it's incomplete, so it's hard to determine what is going on there. It also, it makes me think that, one, we don't have all the information. Two, they seem to be looking more at making this a more story-intensive thing than it currently is, rather than addressing the fact that it doesn't really do anything for you right now. You don't get a lot out of crafting right now. So, now this is, like I said, this is an incomplete list, so that doesn't necessarily mean those changes aren't coming, that they're not working on a way to make crafting more viable than it currently is. But, as it stands, that isn't, that doesn't seem to address the major problem, which is why bother crafting. So I'm going to, this is kind of a rumor thing. I'm hoping that soon we're going to, maybe with the release of 5.6 next week, we will get a little more information about what their plans are with crafting. But I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. And then I'm going to, at some point, make a separate video about what I think they should do to make crafting more relevant than it currently is. So please let me know down below in the comments, do you currently craft? What are your opinions on the crafting system as it currently stands? What changes would you like to see them make? So please, share those down below. Hit that like and subscribe. If you're interested in supporting our channel and the things we do here at the Grizzled Geek, check out our Patreon link down below. If you're going shopping this Christmas for things like subscription time or cartel coins, maybe you're going to go check out Amazon and get some gift cards, please use our affiliate link down below for that or any of your other Amazon shopping. That'll also help out the Grizzled Geek a lot. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all enjoyed playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, and may the Force be with you.